Welcome back. I'm back from the range with the Steyr S9-A1, their compact model, and ran it through our standard battery of tests. Of course, the full mag plus one, what's for dinner test, everyone's favorite. This one rather extensive, and then 5 shots from 7 yards using some Nozzler match ammo. I'm going to get to cleaning this gun and let you guys see how it performed, and then afterwards I'll tell you what my thoughts are on the gun. Out with the Steyr S9-A1, the nice compact. Start off with our full mag plus one. There's our full mag. Drop and throw in our 10 round. Now this is putting maximum pressure on the spring for these first couple rounds. That's why we test this. Got a piece of steel out there about 15 yards or so. Let's see how it does. Pretty good. The What's for Dinner test has quite a lineup today. Now this is done not to test the gun per se, rather the gun's compatibility with different types of ammo. Even though a gun says it's 9mm and the ammo is 9mm, these different bullet profiles, overall lengths, where the ogive or curve is on the round, all of that affects the ability of the gun to feed, plus the amount of energy that the round creates. Now I'm not going to read them all off, you can see them here and go back if you want. But you can see they're all different shapes. We go all the way down to 65 grain. We've got a lot of light for calibers here. A 115 grain hollow point. We got steel case and aluminum case. Steel doesn't expand as much as aluminum, or as brass rather, and aluminum expands more, and that's where extraction issues can happen. Same thing with the zinc plated, and we've got a lacquered steel like this Hornady and a non-lacquered steel like the tool ammo. We'll be firing 3 rounds of each to see how the gun picks up and chambers the round from slide lock, cycles to feed a sequential round, and a 3rd round as a bonus, and to see if we get slide lock. Let's see how our guns do today. We'll start our What's for Dinner test for the Steyr S9-A1 with Fruity Munitions Hush 165 grain. This is the heaviest load I could find. It's going to be moving really slow. Is it going to be enough energy to run this short-barreled gun? Yes. Next up, Remington's HTP 147 grain. This is a hollow point, so it's going to have a slightly different interaction with the feed ramp. Next up, Hornady's HAP 125 grain. This is a steel case hollow point with a lacquer case to help with feeding. Now American Eagle suppressor line 124 grain. This is a very light bullet for a suppressor line, which means it's probably low on powder, potentially relying on that extra back pressure of a suppressor. I'm curious to see how it runs in a short barreled gun like this. Very soft, but it runs. Now 124 grain hollow point that's nickel plated. This is Remington's Golden Saber. Finally, at 115 grain, here's everyone's, well, your request, the Federal 115 grain aluminum case. Aluminum expands a little more, don't forget, so it might have extraction issues. I think my thumb was on the slide lock. I'm not going to blame the gun. Tool ammo, 115 grain steel case. This doesn't have a lacquer coating, so it might have a little extra friction on feeding. Hornady's American Gunner 115 grain hollow point. Now going light for caliber, this is Fiocchi's 100 grain Citrafire loaded frangible round. Will it have enough energy? From Gecko with no heavy metal, 94 grain. I missed, but the gun works. Winchester's 90 grain, super clean. Very light for caliber. And the lightest we could find, Liberty Civil Trainer, only 65 grains. That's a whopping 100 grain lighter than the heaviest one that we started with.
So after firing 5 rounds through the Steyr, notable things that I liked would be the trigger. It has a really nice reset to it. It's pretty easy to get my smaller hands around the firearm. It doesn't have a whole lot of recoil to it. I really like that. And it's not really too big or too small. Good for any occasion.
What about the sight system?
You know, I'm still not really used to Steyr's particular triangle sights there. But it's easy to see even in 90-degree weather on a bright sunny day. So all in all, I have to say I like it.
Now for 5 shots from 7 yards using Nosler 124 grain match. So the S9-A1 performed very well. I think Steyr should be rightfully proud of how the gun did. The sight system is, of course, a little bit different. It's that trapezoidal sight that you may or may not have heard of. I found it to be very quick to get on target. It was something I wasn't quite used to when it came time for the grouping. So that's my excuse there. But otherwise, the gun shot great, feels great, and love this trigger. Very nice trigger. I'd like to see a little more capacity in this guy, but for a gun of its size, an excellent option. Thanks for watching.